Hi, this is Travis Davis with Point in Time Software, and welcome to Using Account Mapper. In this short video, I will show you how to create an account mapper plan, update it from an existing account and from a new account. Strategy Mapper is comprised of three different solutions: Account Mapper, Opportunity Mapper, and Meeting Mapper. In this training section or video, I'll be discussing Account Mapper. As you can see, I am in classic mode of Salesforce. We do support Salesforce 1 and Lightning. I'm just going to go ahead and click on an account here, B3 Round. It's a new account, really haven't done any work inside of the account. I've got some contacts and that's about it. As you see, when I click on this account, I have this new Visual Force page. You may not have this page. It's depending upon how Strategy Mapper has been configured. If you don't have this page, you will be displayed right into the original account details, whether in Classic or Lightning. And then if you wanted to create a plan or review a plan, you would just click on Account Mapper. For the sake of this demonstration and training, I'm going to go ahead back to this Visual Force page. Since this is the first time that I have created a plan in or with this account, when I click on here, I'm asked to select a template. You can have multiple templates configured. A template for strategic accounts, a template for acquisition accounts, or existing accounts. This allows you that when you select the template, it builds out some information in that template that's relevant for that type of an account. For this account, I'm going to say it's a strategic account, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Save. You only have to select the template one time, your initial time. As you can see, it builds me out into the Account Mapper page. On top here, I have some buttons, and I'll go over those here in a second. And then across or underneath, I have some pages that I can select. I'm going to go ahead and start with the account detail page. And based on the template that I use, it has completed or filled out some information related to that account. And again, this can be configured based on the template. If I had any partners aligned with any opportunities, they would be displayed and along with those opportunities. I have my strategic account strategy. This again is based on the template, so I can pre-populate things for my sellers to really get them to think about how to create the plan or use this for their plan. Now you can change this and it does not affect the template, it only affects this plan. What's my 6-month plan? What's my 12-month plan? What's the value proposition and lessons learned? Now you'll also notice that underneath each section there is a status of not started, working, completed. These are basically 0, 50, 100. This helps build the health of the score of the account, so you can see, what type of information are you gathering? Are you completing the plan to be able to have customer success and drive revenue within this account? It really starts getting maybe like a gap analysis of what you need to do to be successful. So I'm going to say I'm working on my account strategy. I'm working on my 6-month plan, my 12-month plan. I think my value proposition is pretty well completed. And then lessons learned, of course, I'm working on that also. I'm going to go ahead and save the plan real quick. Better safe than sorry. You'll also see here that I have manager comments and team comments. I can notify my manager or managers to review my plan before, for example, an account review. So if they have any questions that I need to get answered, I can do that before the review, so the plan goes a lot smoother. It's a lot better. The other, I have my team comments. I can have my team notified of what do they need to do within the plan? How do we round out the plan from a total team perspective, not just from, for example, the account executive, but from everybody's perspective. If I had any open activities, they'd be listed here, activity history, and here are some of the contacts that I know about inside of this account. And of course, I could attach a file, for example, some information about the customer or the account, something to help me be more successful in this account. The next, I have my buying process. Now, I may know some of the buying process, none of it until I've met with them, or all of it based on some assumptions that I can have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a buying process. I'm going to go ahead and say identify the problem, click new, review their options, bring in the top 3 vendors, pilot, and the signed contracts. This is the high level of what they do in their customer buying process. And I'm saying I'm working on this because I'm not for sure if it's totally completed. If it's not, I can always type in a number here. For example, if I need to put something in position number 3, I would put 3 here, add new, and it would place it on that 3rd position. So I don't have to realign everything. I'm going to go ahead and delete this real quick. Now, something new that we've added is be able to link a customer contact with a process. So who at the customer do I need to contact or link up with to ensure that this process gets completed? Because linking the buying process or creating is very important, because what happens when you create an opportunity and you create an opportunity using Opportunity Mapper, this process flows down into the account or the opportunity plan, so you'll have a place to start understanding what their selection process is for a product or solution. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to link up who I believe is responsible for the different processes. I can leave it blank, I can fill it in now, or again, I can always fill it in later. So I'm going to say that's finished. I'm going to go ahead and save it. The next, which is very important, are customer initiatives. We have all had that conversation where you start talking to the customer, they go, oh, we're piloting this. And if you just would have known that, 2 or 3 months ago, you could have been inside the mix for the pilot that they're doing and be able to drive revenue and create an opportunity. So what initiatives, you're talking to the customer, you say, what are you going to do next year? What are your initiatives? And everywhere where you see a drop down, that's configurable by your organization. So you get together as a team, say, okay, what should these drop downs be? And then you can create these drop downs. So I'm going to say one of the things they want to do is a sales enablement platform. Now I can put some additional information in here. New form by Q1 FY17. And I can put a bunch of additional information if I want. I put the time frame that there's going to be expected. I can even create a milestone for this. And I'll show you. I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to create a milestone and I'm going to save it. Another benefit of what I can do is I can create an opportunity at the time that I create an initiative. So now I'm having the conversations with my customers and I'm building pipeline at the same time that I'm having these conversations. It may not have a dollar amount assigned to it, but then again, I can create that opportunity. So I can go into here and it would create it. If you had any other mandatory fields, we would display those where you would have to complete the new opportunity, basically. I'm going to put the status of working because I'm continually trying to understand customer initiatives to be able to drive revenue. Account milestones. As you can see now that I have that initiative is now a milestone. And I can assign it to anybody in my organization. I may want to have somebody aware of what's going on from maybe product development or marketing. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assign it to myself. I can put some additional information. I'll put a due date of the 15th, and I can put some other information in here. Meeting. And I can even send myself an email notification. I'm going to say that I am working on these milestones. Again, very critical. I can assign it to anybody within my organization, not just assigned to myself, and I can notify them in email, and it becomes a task for that individual inside of Salesforce. I've got red flags. What can happen in this account to jeopardize it? For example, maybe their legal process is very long. So now I can put in here we'll start that process early in the opportunity stage. So now this is my mitigation plan. Of course, I can have whatever I need as a mitigation plan for this particular red flag. And I'm going to say that I'm working on this red flag. Again, you can have as many red flags. And red flags also, just like a customer buying process, when you create an opportunity plan using Opportunity Mapper, these red flags will carry down into that opportunity. And the thinking behind this was, I may own the account, but I don't, I may not own the account, but I do own the opportunities. So the person owning that opportunity I need to make aware of anything that's going on inside that account for anybody running an opportunity within it, for example. Let's say, for example, I'm running an account in University of Arkansas. I own the account, but I don't necessarily own all the opportunities. But I need to make aware of people that are running those opportunities of red flags and their buying process. Marketing, business development. What marketing activities do I want to do here? What business development do I want to do within this account? Notes. Maybe I just talk to the customer on the phone. That's all. And I just want to annotate it. When did I have that call? And this actually becomes activity history within the account. So I may not have a meeting, but maybe I got some information just talking to the customer, and I can put that here, and I can timestamp it. Maybe I talked to him yesterday, then I could timestamp it for yesterday. Again, activity history inside of the account. I have my more right here. I have my competitors. We pull the competitors from any opportunity that you have within the account. That's how Salesforce tracks competitors, is from an opportunity perspective. I haven't had any meetings yet. Account timeline. I haven't had any customer team. Who have I had on with the customer, the account team, any opportunities, child accounts, and charts. What am I trying to do from a revenue perspective? This row of information here, really, you can't edit it. This is actually pulled from when you have meetings with the customer using Meeting Mapper, which is another solution inside of Strategy Mapper. That's how you gather all this. So it's nothing that you have to do. It's something that you can visualize. And I'm going to show you in another account these completed. Again, this is a new account. Really haven't done a lot of work with it. So that's why I don't have a lot of the information yet. I'm just filling out my plan. And again, you see that it doesn't take very long to complete a plan, or at least get a plan started to build some good data. So I can go back into the account here. I can save it. I can notify my manager. And if the manager field inside of your user object in Salesforce has a manager, when you click on this button, it would automatically send to that person. If not, then you can enter some email addresses of folks that you want this plan to go to. Notify team. I will put my team email addresses in here. Here is I can look at my account score. How am I doing on this account? I've got 20. That's basically a gap analysis of what's going on from the health of this account. I've got solution scores. Actually, how do my solutions match up with the customer requirements within opportunities? So you see I've got 50, and by default, everything is weighted 1. This is configurable where you think something is weighted more heavily than others, and you can change those. But you can see my gap analysis. I need to finish my lessons learned. Do I need to do some business development? I haven't identified a decision maker, a champion, the competitors, the buyer, anything yet. So this is how this plan is starting to evolve, and this is what I need to do to be successful. But even though we really haven't done a lot with the plan, I can still create a playbook. So this playbook tells me some information about the account itself. What type of revenue do I believe I can drive from this account? What's won? What's pipeline? What's lost? What's the delta? What's my plan? What do I need to do to raise this score above 20 to make sure that I have a satisfied and I'm driving revenue within this account? Is I need to complete these things. I need to identify these particular roles within the account. I've got my buying process here and who's attached to them, my strategy, my value prop, my milestones, my initiatives, the red flags, the notes, my contacts. Have I had a meeting with them using Meeting Mapper? That's what this little field is for. What's the activity in the last 60 days, and what's the scheduled activity? Again, I've already started building out my plan. These are great to print out and take with you to the customer. I can create a new meeting from here and also an instant meeting. And I also have an org map. Org map by default won't be filled out if you really haven't had a meeting with the customer. However, I know of some folks within the account and how they're lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and add them. And I'm going to go back in here. So you can see that I've already got some of my folks lined up, and I've already know in Salesforce how they're aligned, and I've already started building out the org map. So what I found out, that, of course, Billy reports to Jane. She's the CEO. And that Frank also reports to Billy of Worldwide Sales. So now I'm building out my org map. And as you can see, they don't have a role in stance, but maybe I know that Shelly really likes what we're doing. So I can right mouse click on her, give her a stance of 4. And why is she 4? What are some initial indications? Did she say or do one of these in this defined field? Again, this is really based on what you need to learn inside of your organization. All these pick lists are defined by you. And I also know that Shelly role within the organization is she is a decision maker and an evaluator. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. So now you can see I'm starting to build this out amongst the organization. And I really haven't had a meeting with them, but I do know some information about this customer. So this is basically how you create a account plan using Account Mapper and how you can maintain it. Really, the best way to maintain it is to have meetings with your customers using Meeting Mapper, and it'll update everything automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back into accounts, and I'm going to choose another account that I've been working with a little while, and I've had a meeting with them, and I've got some information. And you can see I've got a pretty good score of 52. I'm going to go back into it, and as you can see, I've got some great information in here about the customer. I've got their buying process. I've got everybody identified with their buying process. Again, I've identified a customer initiative. I've turned that into a milestone, and also have another milestone to schedule an initial meeting. The red flags, again, my business dev and marketing, any notes, and then more, you'll see that now I've built out some information. I don't have any competitors yet because I really haven't created an opportunity and identified any of the competitors that I'm working with or working against. Here's the last meeting that I had related to this account using Meeting Mapper. As you can see, I've got a yellow flag that indicates somebody in this meeting is either for or is either against or undecided and has a role that can jeopardize the account as a whole. Some information that I've gathered my strength, I've got some customer pain points and things like this. I go back in, I look at my account timeline. This is the first meeting that I had with the customer. My customer team right here. My account team, who within my organization is working on the account. And if I bring a partner in the meeting and I've identified that meeting attendee as a partner, they will also populate inside of the account team because after all, they are part of your account team. What opportunities do I have in this account? And again, this is configurable by the template for the Account Mapper. But as you can see, or Opportunity Mapper, as you can see, I haven't yet created an opportunity plan for this particular opportunity. If I had any child accounts, they would be listed here. And then here is some information that I'm trying to revenue perspective inside of this account. I'm going after pipeline. I've got 100% pipeline, $75,000 with an open pipeline. I really haven't done anything with this account. It's relatively new, but again, I got some revenue projections for next year. Now, if you have an account existing and you build a plan, we will show all the past revenue information, previous year, last year, and the current year and next year. So you don't have to worry about if you're going to be missing data. It will all be here. There's no problem in that. And again, then I have my org map for this particular account. I really don't have anybody that I've worked with, don't know who reports to who, but again, I can always add contacts just like I did earlier to be able to build out the org map. So that's really all there is to working with account mappers. Very easy, it's intuitive, and it's up to date based on those meetings. So that's how I'm starting to drive my account playbook. As you can see, I've got some additional information here that I've already gathered. Here's my team. Who am I working with? Now my team is involved in the account or has been involved using Meeting Mapper. The revenue potential, the open opportunities. I've got a pretty good 52, but what do I need to do? John and Ginger, their role is such and stance that have a yellow flag, and they can harm it, and that actually takes away from your score. So a red flag and yellow flag take away from your score because that's a negative effect on the possibility of being successful in this account. What I got to do here, the buying process again, basically the same type of information in the plan, but as I build out the account, I interact with them, I have meetings, I'm really building this actionable intelligence out. Like what actions came out of the meeting, what decisions, what are the pain points, what are our strengths, what were the notes from the last meeting, what are the internal notes, the account contacts, the activity history. Again, it all works together to be able to produce a plan that you can use inside of your organization. For example, if you had an account turnover, you wanted this account for somebody else, they would have the same level of information in this account as you did. And that ensures that customer success and driving revenue is maintained during a transition of teams. So again, Account Mapper is one of the 3 solutions inside of Strategy Mapper. They all work together or independently. It's very easy to do. You do over a course of time, but it's very quick, very easy, and you can create an initial plan very quickly. And you don't need to create a plan for every account. Maybe it's certain accounts that you want to do inside your organization to create that plan to give them visibility to the executives. So I want to say thank you very much. If you have any questions, just email me at sales@point, P-O-I-N-T, letter N, time, time.com. We'll get right back to you. And look for us on the Salesforce App Exchange. Search on Strategy Mapper. Thank you and have a great day.